Hey, what's up, everybody? We are live Friday night. We're doing it big time in Paducah. I don't know if you know that commercial. This is the Three Man Rush podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining us for another week of Smash or Pass DFS play, and also just having some fun, just talking some shit. This is what these episodes are for. Just kind of hang out, talk some stuff through, have a good time, have a few drinks. My Diet Mountain Dew here, living the good life. I'm your host, Landon Oliver, here with my two co-hosts, Andrew Scott, and there's Big Jared Holly with the Big Coke Zero. Drew, I think the only one out here.
I got Coke Zero in my cup too, Jared.
Oh, you're classy. That's what I'm talking about. I gotta class this thing up. I can't just bring the bottles in. You guys are using cups like
no, that's not true. I'm literally using a Zaxby's cup with ice in it. So
man, you have stock in Zaxby's.
You what?
You have stock in Zaxby's?
No, I hardly ever go to Zaxby's.
Oh, I thought you had it not too long ago on one of these podcasts we were doing.
It might just be. This might be the same cup.
I got some Raising Cane's this week.
I saw that first.
It was a beautiful week, man. But I'll say this: I was in a 1 mile vicinity of Raising Cane's for 3 whole days, and I only got it one time. Like I felt like that was some real like.
You held it together, bro.
Yeah, I could have done damage to my some serious damage to myself, but I got it once, got it out of my system as soon as I got in the area, and that was it. So. It was a small win. Really, I mean, looking back, it might have been a loss because the one meal I did have was incredible. But yeah, it's always a highlight for me whenever I get to eat some Raising Cane's. It's some good shit.
Yeah, Cane's is fire, bro. That Texas toast
and that sauce, man.
Cane's sauce, can't beat it.
It's tough. No slaw extra toast, baby. Every time. Undefeated. Hey, you ever made a sandwich with your 2 slices of toast?
No.
Next time you get it, get your 2 slices of toast, lay 1 piece of toast down, lay a few pieces of chicken down, put a couple fries on top of that shit. Yeah. You gotta put a couple fries on there too.
Oh, okay.
And put some sauce on it, then put the other piece of toast on top. It's the ultimate bite, man. It's crazy.
I am a fry and burger person as well. Like I know we're talking about chicken right now, but
it's another classic though.
I see. I like the fries.
French fries on the burgers. That's what you're talking about.
I like the fries.
That's the one. That's the one fried thing I can't do, man.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure. I just can't get past it. Like there's certain things.
I tried it at Wendy's because I figure like that seems to be the place to try that. And it just didn't do nothing for me.
I mean, it's salty. It's sweet.
I really don't like sweet shit though. Like and like I don't really like chocolate that much. So like I'm the wrong person to try it because I don't really like chocolate or sweet shit. But I love me some savory shit though. That's where my weaknesses come in. I don't have much of a sweet tooth, but
I like ice cream. I don't really like I don't like candy that much. I guess like I'm not like and I don't like cake. I hate cake. I do not like cake.
Welcome to the 3-Man Chef podcast.
Yeah. I don't like cake. We're gonna be cooking up some lineups here in a second.
Facts. That's a nice transition.
Lineups. You like that? But yeah, man, I do. I'm an ice cream fiend, man. I'll eat the shit out of some ice cream.
Oh, that's my wife is too, man. She loves her some ice cream too. Yeah.
I don't care about anything else though. Sweets wise.
Ice cream's nice. I can't be mad about that.
But you ever went to Grader's in Cincinnati? You ever Grader's ice cream?
I've never had Grader's. No, and I literally was just in Cincinnati.
Woo! All right, let's get into. Look,
I fuck with Culver's and Dairy Queen.
Culver's is the best thing. Culver's is the best fast food. And I'm not even big on fast food as I drink this Zaxby's cup right here. But yeah, dude, I love Raising Cane's and I love Culver's. And if I could only eat 2 fast food places for the rest of my life, it would probably be those.
Tell me this: is Five Guys considered fast food? Because they kind of told that line.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go in, you got to order it, and you got to.
Yeah, they don't got to drive through. That's true.
Yeah, so I mean, is it?
So that probably disqualifies them, right?
Yeah.
If that's the case, then I agree. Culver's is my favorite fast food burger spot too.
Panda Express is up there too for me.
I liked that the few times the first few times I had it, I liked it, and then after
See,
that,
I'm a Chinese food fiend, man. I can eat Chinese
I love
food
Chinese food too, but
literally every night of the week.
I want hole in the wall. I want hole in the wall. Give me the combination plate 14 Chinese food. Like
buffet. I want the buffet.
Yeah, like Panda Express don't really do it for me. I need the combo plate 14 that comes with
I
fried
love
rice and an egg
roll. like the mall Chinese food. I love the mall Chinese food. Or like there's this really little hole in the wall place in Eddyville. Have you ever been there?
I don't think so.
The Chinese place in Eddyville. It's just like this real rundown place, but it's fucking so good. It's
I had a rundown place like that whenever I lived in St. Louis. It was just called Panda. It wasn't Panda Express, and it was just called Panda. It was the only place within probably 20 miles of me that was open on Christmas Day, but they were open.
Oh yeah, they're always.
That was the type of shit they were on. They had it. They were like the combination plate 14.
That's one of the best. That's one of the best Christmas meals. Anyway, is
every year we lived in St. Louis. That's what we had on Christmas. Like we would come home for Christmas Eve. We would come back to Kentucky, visit family for Christmas Eve, and do the the garbage ass dried ham and mashed potatoes meals that you're forced to eat on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving and Christmas are both ass, as far as food wise go. Y'all can argue.
Nah, Thanksgiving's fire.
Thanksgiving is also ass. There's a few sides that are good, and that's it.
But you need to come over here when I smoke a turkey and stuff. That's a different one.
The only Thanksgiving meal I like is one of my grandma on my mom's side. She fries chicken on Thanksgiving, and I'm just like
fried chicken.
Homemade legit fried chicken. But yeah, so every year for Christmas, Christmas Eve, we do the traditional shit, and then Christmas we go back to St. Louis and we pick up some Panda on the way home. And we'd eat Chinese food for Christmas.
That reminds me, whenever there's one word, things like that, that reminds me of this time. So I was driving through downtown Philadelphia, and we got lost. We were on our way up to New York City. So we got lost in basically the hood of Philadelphia. And I knew we were in a bad area because we drove by this building, and it's how normally it would say the RX, medicine.
For pharmacy?
Yeah, pharmacy and stuff. It didn't say it. It just said drugs. That's all it said. That's all it said. It just said drugs.
One-stop shop.
Yeah, and I was just I don't know if we are where we are. So then I think I've told you this story. So then we go about a block further, and a cop pulls up beside us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cop pulls up beside us, and he goes, "Hey man, you lost or something down here? You probably don't need to be down here. This is broad daylight too. It's not late at night. This is broad daylight." And I was like, yeah, I think we took a wrong turn. I was like, how do you get back on, the interstate or highway or whatever? And he goes, okay. He's like, so he gave us the directions, and he said, what I'll do is I'll set right here. You're not going to get in trouble. But if you hit a red light in the next 3 blocks, run it, because you do not need to be down in this area because you will get robbed. And so, yeah, a cop told us to run the red lights so we could get out of the hood of Philadelphia.
I would ask him what the over-under was.
Yeah,
there was probably some good food.
We were in West Philly. I think it was West Philly. We were not born and raised there.
Did you ask the cop what the over-under was and the chances he would get robbed?
Get robbed? Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure if we stopped at a red light, he was going to take the over.
It's what it sounds like.
Yeah. So yeah, that always reminds me. You just said it was just called Panda, and I'm like, man, that reminds me of driving through Philly.
Drugs.
We rounded that corner, and this building just said drugs, and I was like, I don't know if I think we're lost. I don't think we need to be in. Yeah, the rest of Philly though was great. I mean, it was a great trip. We stopped, saw the Liberty Bell, got a cheesesteak, did the whole thing. Hopefully, they win tonight. We're rooting for them to win the World Series.
Definitely rooting for them to win the World Series. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I kind of want to see Houston win it, just to be the villain.
Fuck the Astros.
Yeah, man. We don't do that around here.
They're AL West. I have to root for them.
Yeah, they're cheaters. I'm never letting them go.
They're the reason why the Rangers can't win that division, man, because they're in the same division as the Houston Astros.
Right, yeah. Yeah,
Astros all the way. Astros and
See, you should You should also
You should most definitely be rooting against them. There's no way in hell I'd be rooting for the Cubs or the Brewers or the Reds to win a World Series.
Oh, as Rangers fans, we don't care who's in the division because it really makes no difference.
What's 5-5 right now, top of the 7th. So
I've always been a really big Bryce Harper fan too. So just like seeing him ball out the whole postseason and now being in the World Series, it just makes it that much easier to root for Philly for me.
It's a good story because Washington won a World Series the year he left.
Yeah, and everybody tried to make that all about him and like act like he didn't win an MVP with Washington and turn around and win another one with Philadelphia. Like act like he hasn't lived up to all the hype that he's like.
He's great.
Bro, coming out of high school,
in terms of like high school hype, he's basically baseball's version of LeBron. Like he got the same type of hype that LeBron got coming out of high school in terms of like being the next big thing, and
he got the same kind of heat too.
He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated whenever he was in high school. I had that issue.
Yeah, like and he's lived up to it, and you can't convince me otherwise. The dude's been incredible. So I would like to see him cap it off with the World Series, and then just seeing how fucking electric Phillies fans have been in that stadium this postseason. It's just like it's so cool, man. I can't wait for the
Philly fans are hilarious to me too. Like they're all hilarious. Like in a good way. Like I love that. Like one of my favorite videos is like from that Vikings game. When like that dude was in front of that old woman and she was yelling at him, and he's like, "Go Birds!" He was just like, he was just trolling this old woman. And I was like, "This is hilarious!" Like,
it's one of the funniest videos I've ever seen.
Go Birds! I was like, like she was like trying to yell at him, and he just kept screaming that over and over. I'm like, that's incredible.
It's so obnoxiously funny, man.
I know, I love it.
It's so Philadelphia.
I know, but that's what makes it lovable, though. Like,
yeah, I know. I love it too. I agree. I fucking love Philly people.
Not to mention, like I said, whenever I went there, like because you hear all the time about how rude people are and all that stuff. Everybody was so nice, man. They were awesome.
They just don't bullshit you. They'll tell you how they feel. They don't they don't give you the southern beat around the bush. Oh, how you doing, honey? Bullshit. Like,
and then like around here, they'll tell you something, and then you walk away, and then they're whispering.
They just fucking tell you how they feel, and I love that shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, I wish Kentucky had more Philly energy in it.
I know, man. Yeah, I had a really good time there. So yeah, I like the Eagles too. So.
The Eagles are another team that's easy to root for.
I like the Eagles.
I guess I'm
like a
sports fan.
Yeah, like not only that because
I watched Tyrese Maxey
connections there.
Like Tyrese Maxey hooped out tonight too for Philly. Yeah. So
I got Joel Embiid is in my fantasy. He's my first pick.
Embiid missed tonight, and
he did not play tonight.
Philly needed a hero, and Maxey stepped up big time.
Yeah, it's a Kentucky right there. So,
but you guys want to talk some football?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
is that what we're doing tonight?
It doesn't really. I'd be cool if you guys want to just talk about food and basketball in the World Series, but like
15 minutes in. But yeah, I don't know if the listeners they're tuning in, expecting some smash or pass options here.
That's true.
I gotta say, man, I'm like ever since the Ellinger move happened, like as much as I love the kid, I've been like full on draft season right now. So like I'm watching a ton of college tape. So I have no idea what's going on in the world of fantasy right now. I don't know.
Well,
me either, and I do it every day.
We got our own little superhero with his FanDuel cape.
Yeah, you're gonna have to carry this one.
You got to see, he got the FanDuel cape on tonight, so we're good. The 3-Man Rush podcast is all right.
I would say that Jerry got it for free from FanDuel.
You get nothing for free from anywhere.
Yeah, but I think he's lost enough money.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't really lose that often.
But FanDuel,
I do.
He plays enough.
Yeah.
And FanDuel has taken enough people's money that they're comfortable giving those like Jared that have played enough. Not to say that Jared's lost enough, but us as a collective group has lost enough that the faithful, such as Jared, they can afford to give out some free hoodies. So, yeah. Yeah,
the first 4 weeks of the season were so good, and these last two have been terrible. like they've been.
I didn't even. I'm gonna make a. It was a travel week for me, but so that's part of it. But I'm gonna make a confession. I didn't even play DFS last week.
I wish I
didn't
didn't.
set a single for the first time this season, first time in probably a few years.
I haven't the last
I didn't set a
last
single
couple
DFS
weeks.
lineup last week, which is probably not the best thing to say on a DFS show, but we're all about transparency here. But
You're making progress in life.
just
You're
because
taking
I
the
didn't
first step,
set
Drew.
a lineup doesn't mean that I didn't pay attention to the games, and that doesn't mean I haven't already been looking into these games. And I might or might not have already set like 5 lineups this week to make up for it. So
Shit, at the rate I'm going, I need Korean baseball to start back up. I'll get some wins under my
League
belt.
of Legends. Jared's a big League of Legends guy.
Smash,
League of Legends DFS guy.
Bro,
yeah, I've never played the game. I know nothing about it. I just
You did not actually play a DFS thing on League of Legends.
Oh yeah,
he cleaned up, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
you were such a degenerate.
So I got into it like during the pandemic when there was no like real sports going on or anything.
Right.
Yeah. Like ESPN would show it at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Like, yeah, I remember.
There was nothing, and I just went on forums and read what these other like nerds were talking about, and, like these good players. I'm like, well, I think I could figure this out. And then like
get beat
literally stack a team. If they win, if they go off, then you're in good shape. If they lose,
yeah, Jared was like he was like texting me, and like it'd be like in the morning, and he'd be like, "Oh, I had some like blah 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 FaZe Clan was doing like I don't know. That's just like a gamer thing. I don't know."
You had to set an ADC, a mid support. Oh my god, I'm trying to remember. It's been years now.
You might as well be speaking French right now or fucking Korean.
But they also had
speaking of Korean, guess who would also wake up in the morning to make sure his Korean baseball lineup.
He just said Korean baseball needs to come back.
Yeah,
Someone kill won me a few $100.
They would play at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and they would, the only way you would know, because I did it a few times with them because it was fun. The only way you would know if anybody was scratched is you had to set an alarm and wake up at that time to make sure none of the guys in your lineup were scratched. Because
my girlfriend at the time was not thrilled about that.
Like he would wake up and text me, and like he'd be like, "Hey man, you get your lineup set and make sure everybody's in there." And I'm like, God damn.
Just in case you ever were curious how invested we are into DFS, then here you go. Yeah. Korean baseball and WoW.
Yeah.
No, League of Legends. LOL.
Oh, League of Legends.
They had CSGO.
But I'm sure if WoW was a thing, like with it, he would play that too.
He'd probably play that too.
I would figure it out, man. I would crack it. You got to jump on this stuff early.
Yeah, I haven't set any lineups anyway, but I mean,
let's look at the slate.
Yeah.
Where do you guys want to start?
Well, I mean, we're doing.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about some. Let's talk about some quarterbacks for week 8. Who we smashing, and who we passing for week 8.
Well, I mean, there's. I think the obvious is Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he's kind of the big name on the slate, right? Because no Josh Allen, no Patrick Mahomes.
The big names are definitely not on this slate.
No, they're either on bye or on prime time.
So, I mean, the obvious choice on that one would be, Jalen Hurts. I think there's some good options. I was really high earlier this week on Geno Smith, but with Tyler Lockett potentially missing now and DK Metcalf being out, like it's, I don't think that's happening.
It feels like he went from a smash to a pass because of the no DK, because of potentially no Tyler Lockett. Because of the fact that the Giants' passing defense hasn't been bad, and then apparently there's also supposed to be some rain in this game, and you've got 2 really bad run defenses, 2 really good running backs, in Saquon and Kenneth Walker. Like it feels like this could be a game where both Daniel Jones and Geno Smith could possibly be a little bit of a trap. Now, Daniel Jones does have the rushing upside that could possibly give him a little bit of a floor from that aspect, but I don't really know. We typically talk about the smash before the pass. We're just talking about that matchup. Like on paper, it seems like it might be a good matchup to bad defenses, but because of the injuries and the weather and things like that, I'm a little nervous about both quarterbacks. But I like both running backs, though. Well, and we'll talk about running backs later, but as far as that goes, now I'll tell you two quarterbacks I do like, and this is probably the obvious shootout of the game. I don't know. I haven't really looked at what like the fantasy community is saying this week, but both Tua and Jared Goff feel
That's
like
what I was going with.
smash plays for me. Like it's in Detroit, where it seems like all of like the blow up games against Detroit happen in that dome in Detroit. And with both of these defenses, especially passing defenses being, on on the bad side of
Well,
things, and
here's
then
also
Jared Goff getting Amon-Ra St. Brown back, supposedly. We'll see. Like, he was in concussion protocol, but he didn't actually have a concussion. But then he was questionable during the week because of the concussion that they said he didn't have during the game. So I don't know what's going on with Amon-Ra, but DeAndre
Let me
Swift's
tell you
back.
why I cannot play Jared Goff, because I played him last week.
Yeah, I get that, but
I did it on the grounds. They were in a dome, and I knew no one else was going to play him, and I knew Amon-Ra was going to be chalk. So to counter his chalk, I was like, well, hell, if he's going to go off like everyone thinks he is, who's throwing the ball to him? Jared Goff came in at 1% and absolutely stunk. I mean,
if you look at Jared Goff with Amon-Ra St. Brown versus Jared Goff without Amon-Ra St. Brown, it like this year specifically is pretty bad. But if he has Swift back, if he has Amon-Ra back, if the picture around him is pretty like we need it to be for Goff to be good Goff and not bad Goff, then I think that game has shootout potential. Because like Tua, Waddle, Tyreek,
so here's another,
like that whole team.
He's not
going to face a pass rush like
well, not only that. Well, Detroit's pass rush is coming along, but this is what I want to point out. Detroit plays the second most man coverage in all of football.
Tyreek eats that shit up.
Waddle does too. So they're not only do they play man, but they also blitz. They're a top 5 blitzing team too. Whenever I guess like the most man coverage Miami faced was, of course, in weeks 1 and 2 when the season first started. Tua's stats in those 2 games: 18 of 21, 85% completion percentage, 11 yards per attempt, and 4 touchdowns, 0 picks.
Yeah, that's not surprising at all, man. They got 2 man beaters out this world.
Yeah. So you have a defense that likes play man coverage, plays it at the second most rate, and now you get to play Tyreek and Jalen Waddell. So yeah, Tua is kind of a guy that I would like to target.
Yeah, I think you hit it correctly on that. I think you could play both Waddell and Tyreek Hill. That's going to be very popular, unfortunately, because I think everybody kind of knows the upside with it.
Yeah.
Something that you could do is use one of those wide receivers, maybe use Waddle instead of Tyreek Hill, and hope for the best, and then put Mike Gesicki in if you want to double that too.
Yeah, Detroit's been bad against tight ends as well. They give up. Hang on, I can get you a number.
Gesicki's had 7 targets in the last 2 games too.
Yeah, and so on top of that, Detroit gives up they're the 28th worst team against the tight end on a fantasy points per game basis. So not only has Gesicki been getting targets, but Detroit also is pretty bad against the tight end, as they are pretty much any pass catcher. So
currently, Mike Gesicki is under 3% ownership.
Yeah, he's one of my. I know we'll talk about tight ends in a minute, but he's one of my favorite tight end plays as well. Pretty much, if you're playing in this Miami Detroit game, you're probably one of my favorite plays this week. Just like I feel like that's kind of like the obvious shootout with two good offenses, 2 really bad defenses in a dome, where we've already seen several shootouts this year. I'm sure it'll be popular, like you said, but I like that game quite a bit this week.
Well, there's another guy that I would like to point out here for salary purposes.
Oh my God, we're doing it, huh?
Yeah, that's the cheapest starting quarterback in the NFL. That is Sam Ehlinger.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's fine, but also he gives you the rushing upside that
he does have.
You also covet in
believe it or not, Landon, you might be on to something. He's getting a little bit of steam too, which is crazy. He's coming in about
that. I don't think he's a bad player to begin with, but he's coming in at the same salary as guys like Brock Purdy, Jack Cohn, who is the practice squad quarterback for the Colts, Carson Strong, who's not even on the roster, Felipe Franks, Ben DiNucci, Trace McSorley. He's all around those guys, and he's a starting quarterback. So there's a stack that I would like to possibly go with him, and that is at tight end with one Kylan Granson for the Colts, who is their move tight end that they have there. If you did not know, guess who played high school football together? Sam Ehlinger and Kylan Granson. Chemistry was very evident in the preseason games they played. They connected on some good passes there. And as we know, with a young quarterback's favorite target is the tight end. So I think, one, this has been his first ever NFL game. He'll probably, whenever he gets in trouble, which with that offensive line will probably be a lot, he wants to go to a safety blanket. For him, that's his old high school teammate, guy that he's played with. Now, they were drafted in the same draft class. You know, they worked together all last year in the second team in the practice squad. They already have that chemistry baked in. We've already seen Kylan Granson put together some good games for the Colts. And now you have a starting quarterback and a tight end. I don't even know the price of him. I imagine it's
Granson's $4,400.
Yeah, so you could have $10,400 combined for your starting quarterback and tight end, and just go absolutely bananas everywhere else.
You could do a complete Colts onslaught.
I would not.
There's actually somebody else that I like. If you're gonna go Sam Ehlinger, there's a guy that I like a little bit more to stack with him. It's actually Alec Pierce.
Oh, a little Alec.
I like the Sam Pierce. I like the Ehlinger Pierce stack this week, just because I think I read that Ehlinger was 3 of 4 for 90 yards of passes, 20 plus yards downfield in the preseason.
The best rookie wide receiver in football, Alec Pierce.
No, I mean his name is Alec Pierce, so that part's factual. The rest of it I don't agree with, but nonetheless. Ehlinger was 3 of 4 for like 90 yards of passes, 20 yards down the field in the preseason. As far as passing downfield, Alec Pierce leads your Colts team in receptions of passes 20 plus yards downfield. So especially in tournaments, if you want to talk about like going for upside and things like that, if they can capitalize on a couple of deep plays, a couple of like broken plays with Ehlinger rolling out using his legs. I like that. I like that stack too.
Even from the pocket, if you're thinking this is the same Sam Ehlinger that came out of Texas with the weak arm and he can't make these throws, you are mistaken. He has spent now over a year now working with Tom House. If you are not familiar who that is a quarterback coach guru that has worked with guys like, he's the guy that basically helped Aaron Rodgers. He's actually a pitching coach as well. He works with a lot of baseball players on how to generate velocity and torque from their base. And it helps improve their not only their accuracy, but their velocity with the football and their ability to push the ball down the field. Now, Sam Ehlinger is in 1 year of, I think, a 2 to 3 year plan he's doing with Tom House to completely rework his base and throwing motion. So it's not all the way there yet, but it is much, 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 much improved from where he was coming out of Texas. So this is not the noodle-armed guy that you thought you saw. And really, if you watch preseason, you would already know, like, he showed a lot.
So if you were to double stack Ehlinger, listen to this.
Okay, all right.
Ehlinger, Pierce, and Granson. Your average remaining salary is $7,300. You could do a lot of damage on that.
You could. I wouldn't feel good about starting my line.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to put in two Colts weapons with Ehlinger. Like I said, I would probably feel safer
total. It can't
going 1.
21. No, you cannot double stack him.
No.
But yeah, I was just thinking because I'm scrolling through and I'm like, man, I wonder where Sam's at. Because not only does it give you rushing upside, but I figured he was going to be cheap, and I kept scrolling and I'm like, where is this?
Yeah,
he's all the way down at the very bottom. Like literally, he's the second to last quarterback listed.
Yeah, it'll be the cheapest he'll be because the prices were already set prior to the Matt Ryan news.
Yeah.
But
So I mean, yeah, you
so
got
this
you
is
got
gonna
a
this will
quarter.
be the week to do it
Also,
if
a
you're gonna
guy
do
too
it.
to watch out for just in case if you once again like rushing upside for quarterbacks, a guy that can possibly be played. One Malik Willis in the AFC South.
Yeah, if Tannehill really does end up setting, that could be a worthwhile play.
Yeah.
What about I know
I got one more.
Okay.
So the obvious chalk of the week is going to be Tony Pollard with the Zeke news. Like we all know that their team total is the highest on the slate too. What about Dak stack?
I like
Dak
I like a Dak CD. I like a Dak CD Lamb stack a lot. Kyler Gordon, the slot corner for Chicago. He's been pretty vulnerable, and CD runs 50+% of his snaps in the slot. So I think that, and his A dot and his first, like, it didn't turn into a lot of yards last week against Detroit, but his A dot was pretty high last week in Dak's return. Like, Dak was targeting him deep down the field last week. So I think if they continue that trend, they could connect on more of those. And I think a Dak CD stack could be a lot of fun this weekend.
CD's getting some ownership, but I think obviously, like Tony Pollard's going to be super popular. He's going to be really hard to not play Tony Pollard at 6,300.
Yeah, he feels like one of the good chalk plays this week. Like he's chalk plays, but he feels like one that, like, despite being chalk, you can just put it in there anyway.
Yeah, I think you almost have to, but you could do. I mean, with Dallas having the highest team total, something that might be in consideration is because Pollard does catch passes, not at an extremely high level or anything, but I would be comfortable in like a single tournament, not in multi-entries, but I'd be comfortable playing a Cowboys onslaught with Dak, Tony Pollard, Michael Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb.
You know what I hate the most about Twitter, like rumors, is that it kind of gets your hopes up a little bit because you're like, oh, this would be a cool thing, but like there's no validity to it at all. This one, here's a new one. Of course, we have to start out like every Twitter rumor. Per source, take that for what you will. The Buffalo Bills have emerged as front runners to land Los Angeles Rams running back Cam Akers via trade or release. While the Bills have shown interest in Browns running back Kareem Hunt, I'm told the price is currently too steep, and they have now shifted their focus onto Akers.
What happened with Cam Akers exactly?
The Rams have also shown interest in Kareem Hunt, but they also have agreed with the Bills that the price that Cleveland is asking for is too high. So that report, that part of the report probably has some legs to it because that's multiple.
This is coming, by the way, from at CJ Golson. He is
that guy's a professional troll, though.
Yeah, international insider.
Yeah, no, like literally, he's a
hitting DFS analyst. Jared, he's coming for you.
Yeah, like the dude literally just trolls on Twitter. So like, yeah, I actually care nothing about what you just read. Now that you told me who it was from,
okay. I've never heard of the guy. So
he got famous on Twitter for trolling people and like making fake reports and getting people to buy into him.
We don't like that.
And then laughing at people for buying into the fake reports. Like
we're muting that account from now on.
Yeah, that guy's claim to fame on the internet was making fake reports and then getting like Twitter verified accounts to buy into them and retweet them and repost them onto their accounts and then making fun of them for doing it. That was like his claim to fame. So yeah, take that shit with a humongous grain of salt, with some flaky salt, some big ass flaky salt. But I know I mentioned Geno Smith and I mentioned Daniel Jones as guys playing against each other in a game where I felt kind of nervous about them. Are there any other guys that y'all are looking at quarterback to pass on this week?
To pass.
It's a weird slate, man. It really is.
I've got a couple other ones in mind that I'm curious about y'all's thoughts on. Because I know Justin Fields has started to gain some steam with his performances the past couple weeks, but now he goes up against the Cowboys defense that gives up the 4th lowest points to the quarterback position so far on the, as far as fantasy points on a weekly basis. And I feel like he'd probably be a pretty popular play with the way he's played the past couple of weeks, and he has looked good. But like 7 weeks in, we can, we really can't doubt the Cowboys defense at this point. They've shown that they're legit. So he's another, on top of the Daniel Jones, Geno Smith world. He's another one that makes me nervous personally.
Kyler Murray makes me nervous too.
I like Kyler a lot this week.
I do too.
Going up against Minnesota and having Hopkins back and Robbie Anderson another week in the offense. And we haven't had like the boom Kyler week yet either, and it's coming.
It's got to come eventually.
Yeah, well, I mean, he played really well last week, and they actually used him in the run game. Like, they used him correctly, and I don't trust Cliff Kingsbury to do that 2 weeks in a row.
Man,
I get it, but at the same time,
give up a lot of points to the quarterback position. They're the 21st.
And they right now too. I mean, with James Conner being, is he active this week or is he still?
No, he's gonna miss again this week. It's Eno Benjamin.
Tyler is in a smash spot, man. He really is.
I can't think of the rookie running back's name that plays behind Eno Benjamin. He's really, I like him as a player. He's really good, but I just went completely blank.
Arizona's back, or
Arizona. He's technically their backup, yeah, but I just went fucking blank on his name.
Ingram.
Keontae
Ingram. Yes, yeah. Thank you. Him and Eno Benjamin both are very serviceable. So like even with no James Conner, I'm not really worried about the running game. But
no one's gonna play Eno. I can tell you that.
I think Minnesota. I think Minnesota and Arizona could be another game with shootout potential, similar to
I agree.
What we've been talking about with Miami and Detroit.
The good thing is too that if no one's going to play Eno, he's only $7K and he's a pass catching back, so you can do a Murray stack.
I'm surprised that his ownership isn't higher with,
and his name is
1% right now.
No, James Conner, he played really well on national TV on Thursday Night Football last week. I'm really surprised his ownership isn't higher.
Yeah. I like that, and I'm sure Hopkins has got some steam on him, but
yeah, as he should. He looked good coming off like first game on the field.
Yeah. Well, this is also too like it's like one of those weird things to where like he missed games, but it wasn't because of an injury.
Right. So that's what we said
injury concerns. Like he's just fresh.
Yeah,
right.
That's what we said prior to Thursday Night Football, is that Hopkins was going to step in and just be Hopkins because it wasn't an injury thing. Like he's just been working out, just waiting, chopping at the bit to get to play some football.
Taking them steroids, boy.
He's roided up, fucking ready to go.
Yeah.
He's 30 years old at this
point. He got
something.
smart. He started using SARMs instead.
Right.
This dude is like coming off of like just a few years removed from a 99 rating on Madden too.
Well, that's also Madden, so
just saying.
The game sucks.
Game does suck.
It does suck. I don't trust anything they do. Like they're trash.
Y'all got any?
So yeah, Kyler's appealing. I think you can make some noise with Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I agree. He's another, like, if you don't go the chalk Jalen Hurts route, he's another guy that I'm interested
in. I
guess. Hey, we gotta be honest on how we feel. Like we can't just.
How gross do you guys want to really get with a stack?
There's nothing wrong with you not liking Kyler, but I can't sit back and be quiet if I disagree or anything.
Well,
we got to give the people, stuff to think
Jimmy
about.
Garoppolo? We don't like him.
Yeah, I'm very down to fade Jimmy Garoppolo, especially without Debo.
Yeah, I can do without Jimmy G.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm very good on fading Jimmy G for sure.
I was gonna say, outside of like a few like higher end players like Kyler or Jalen Hurts, like
there's not a lot.
Not really a lot there. So
no, not with the guys on bye and the guys off the main slate. There's the quarterback position is kind of slim pickings this week.
I tell you the one I just cannot get behind, man, and he's somewhat a higher end quarterback is Derek Carr. I just cannot get behind Derek Carr.
Okay, so now we got another one we disagree on because I actually like Carr this week.
I he's in a good spot. something about the guy. Like every time he is the guy that burns me in DFS more than anyone else. A quarterback.
I feel like too many touchdowns have been going to Josh Jacobs lately, and like
This is the week it stops.
we know how
Matt
unpredictable
Collins,
we know how unpredictable touchdowns are, and we're gonna talk about a pass catcher not named Matt Collins on the wide receiver smash or pass. So I'm gonna save that, but I'll just say I think Josh Jacobs gets a little bit less of the touchdown pie this week. I just touchdowns are so flaky, and he's been getting too many of them, and that's gonna flip eventually. So you got Derek Carr that hasn't been throwing passing touchdowns, but the offense has been scoring touchdowns, and he's playing a defense that can give up points to the quarterback position. So this is actually a week where I'm kind of bought into Derek Carr, and that could very well end up burning me because it has plenty of times in the past. But I do like Carr this week.
He's also at one of those weird salaries too, where like he's the same price as Dak Prescott, and he's $100 cheaper than Jared Goff.
Yep. There's a lot of guys in that weird range this week. Like, there's not a whole lot of top end guys. It's like you either pay up for Jalen Hurts, you kind of pay up for Kyler, or you're got a whole list of quarterbacks in the middle, and then you got Sam Ellinger way down here. Like, if you're
right,
like realistically, like Jared or Landon's not wrong for bringing him up, because if you want to just completely save money at quarterback, he's the very obvious guy to go with to do so. With the rushing,
this might be the week to save money at quarterback.
It could be. It really could.
If he
anybody else you guys don't like at quarterback before we move on to the running back position, that's a lot of fun this week, I think.
I don't like Matt Ryan this week.
It's a very fair.
Or next week too.
I didn't like him in September.
That is true. You were on record with that. All right, let's talk running backs then, because I personally I think the running back slate's kind of fun this week on the main slate.
It's a good slate, yeah.
So Jared, who's some of your favorite running back plays this week?
Oh man, there's so many good ones.
She's my idiot dog.
What's
He decided to run out of the room and get in the trash. So.
Oh, poor guy. Man, there's so many good ones at running back. So I think someone that's going to go under the radar this week that I really, really like is Dalvin Cook, and I think this is one of those areas where everybody's going to want to play Jefferson, or they're going to want to double stack Kirk Cousins with Thielen and Jefferson, because Thielen's at that comfortable price point. In a matchup where they are heavy favorites, they're not heavy favorites, they're only 4-point favorites, but they are at home, and they're more of a field goal favorite. And being at home, that's the kind of areas I like to tackle the running back situations in. With that being said, Dalvin Cook's at currently 10% ownership, and a guy that can easily go off at any moment. We just haven't seen it yet. He's kind of like the opposite of what Josh Jacobs has been. So I love Dalvin Cook this week as a smash.
I don't know how chalk this is going to be this week. I imagine with how he's been playing in the matchup, I imagine there's probably some chalkiness to it. But I really like Raheem Mostert this week. Getting back to Detroit and Miami, the Detroit's run defense has been so bad. Raheem Mostert has been so good, and he fits that offense so good. Like, he's made Chase Edmonds basically irrelevant with how well he's playing right now. So it's hard not to like Raheem Mostert. And then, of course, I talked about part of the reason why I don't like the quarterbacks in the Seattle Giants games, because of how much I love the running backs. And I don't like playing both running backs in the same matchup in a lineup. But I'm going to have a healthy amount of both Saquon and Kenneth Walker, and, like in separate lineups, like sprinkled in. This week, I like both of those guys quite a bit.
It's hard not to like Barkley, and Kenneth Walker has been amazing. Like, he's like been better than what I ever thought he was going to be. Even that Seattle offense has been so good all year round. Like, that's
where the huge key is. Like, we knew Kenneth Walker was talented coming out of Michigan State, but you expected Seattle's offense.
Penny looked good before he got hurt.
Yeah, exactly. But we expected Seattle's offense to be back coming into the year, and turns out it isn't. So like now you had
No,
two talented running backs, and Penny before he got hurt,
that
and then Kenneth
offensive
Walker
line is
coming out of college. The
good.
old line, I mean, the two rookies that they grabbed has really bumped up that offensive line. So, and like
Well,
so
who's the favorite to win that division?
I don't know who the favorite is, but Seattle's the one
Seattle's
in the
first
lead
place
right
right
now. Like, yeah,
Oh
I
wait,
don't
I'm thinking. Never mind. I was thinking of NFC South for a second.
yeah,
with,
but
whoever wins Carolina and Atlanta takes sole possession.
Do you think Atlanta is a better team right now than Tampa Bay?
No. I think Atlanta is better coached than Tampa Bay.
Do you think Bruce Arians really was that big of a difference?
Absolutely.
I think so too.
Yes. That's their biggest problem. It's like they're just undisciplined, bad coaching. I can get into like a full thing on what's going on in Tampa, but
no. I just wanted to bring that up for a second. I got lost in.
Look, my smash is going to be very easy. And look, there's some times where you just got to play the chalk, and it's Derrick Henry, because the last count them 3 times in a row.
Owns the Texans.
The last 3 times in a row he's played the Houston Texans, he has went for over 200 yards every game.
What if I told you currently on Friday at 10:21 p.m. Central Time that Derrick Henry is under 10% ownership?
Then
There's no way.
I swear to God, he's at 8% right now. It's because of all the value at running back right now we have.
There is a lot of
value. I'm taking Derrick Henry.
I think
I'll take Sam Ehlinger and Kylan Granson and Derrick Henry.
That would be the strategy you would have to take in order to get to a Derrick Henry this week. Is you would have to pay way down.
Yeah, he's the most expensive running back on FanDuel this week
for good reasons.
For good reason. Yeah, exactly.
Landon's absolutely right.
He's good chalk.
Yeah,
Washington's actually good against the tight end too. But so I mean, if you wanted to go with Alec Pierce, you could do that.
But, yeah, I'm not. I can tell you right now, it could work out, but I'm not having Colin Granson in a single fucking DFS lineup this week.
Hard. It's hard to.
I don't have the cojones to do that.
I see Landon's point. It opens up so many windows to do like anything.
I'm close.
Plus, even if you take Colin Granson, I mean,
I'm gonna close those.
We'll get to tight end in a moment. There's not a whole lot of.
I hate the NFL. Here we go. I do too. So Brady has had the worst year of his life. Dude, legit looks like he's aged 20 years from the last game. He's going.
He doesn't want to play football anymore.
No.
Aaron Rodgers and him are literally like planning what they're going to do in the offseason this season.
Oh, man, I wouldn't be
going to drink blood and get new tattoos. They're both single, so like they can literally do whatever they want to do.
Aaron Rodgers isn't single. He dates that witch, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The girl who's a witch.
He'll introduce her witch friends to Tom Brady, and he'll live for another 150 years. He'll probably play in the NFL for 120.
He'll introduce Tom Brady to her coven. That's what it. Yeah, multiple witches. Yeah, bro. Damn, that's rough. The news that come out, man. I really hope he's mentally okay, because that's.
Well, we watched Matt Ryan die, and now Tom Brady. It's officially the league has changed. The statue quarterback is dead. It's over.
Yep.
2022.
2022.
Sam Ehlinger is now the quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts.
What about Devin Singletary? What about Devin Singletary this week? He's on Sunday Night Football, right?
Oh yeah, they're on an island.
Yeah, okay.
So what about the cover guy? I mean, Jared, you talked about Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. Let's talk about Jonathan Taylor.
What's going on with that?
Well, you have a quarterback making his debut. You have such weapons that we just mentioned earlier, and you can currently get Jonathan Taylor at 8,300 and less than 10% ownership.
Yeah, he played like 50% of the snaps.
Last
week.
He didn't play a whole lot, but I think they're going to work out. I think he'll be better this week.
Right. No, I agree. I think part of why he's priced the way he is because of the snaps he played last week. But I think another healthy week back, I think his snaps go up. And
he looked like Jonathan Taylor last week too. For whatever reason, like they went away from him because that's is what it is. But yeah,
I want to make one more point on Sam
He's averaging
Ellinger.
like over 6 yards a carry.
I want to make one more point on Sam Ellinger. If you play Sam Ellinger, and I'm not saying don't play Sam Ellinger at 6K. I mean, you can do
Ellinger,
whatever his name is. It's irrelevant.
It is.
But if you play him, you don't have to stack anybody with him.
Yeah, that's true. With the rushing upside he has, yeah, that's true.
So that's that. If you're looking at quarterbacks and there's not a whole lot to choose from, we went through the list already pretty much. That is an option.
Yeah,
something I will try actually.
That's true.
Landon opened my eyes.
Wait, should I eat those Slim Jims for a second?
Hold on. I may have one left in there.
What you got back there?
Let me see what
I would just go buy Slim Jims just to restock that thing.
Bam.
You don't have the Savage
one to go with it. I'll sell you this 2-year-old Slim Jim for $50.
To be fair, they might say 2 years old, but those things can literally survive an apocalypse. So it's not bad. You can still eat it.
I'd tell you one other running back I like this week is Miles Sanders. And that's purely because I think Philadelphia is going to put the whooping on Pittsburgh, and he could very well end up with a stat line kind of like whenever they played Jacksonville and they ran away with that game, and he ran for like 150 and a couple tutties. I think something like that could end up happening this week as well. So not really so much about Miles Sanders as it is just the work that he could end up getting. But
he's another one too, under 5% ownership.
Yeah, see, that's crazy to me. But as far as running backs,
it's the Tony Pollard effect.
Yeah,
like, it's such a good spot for Tony Pollard. But if he fails, then.
But they're actually the running backs on the other side of the football in that game are some of the running backs that I'm nervous about this weekend. With how good of a run defense Dallas has been this year, and then you put that with the fact that Montgomery and Herbert is just like, hey, hot hand, whoever's better, this guy, that guy, good fucking luck guessing who's going to be the running back this week. You mix that kind of committee playing against a tough run defense. I'm kind of just staying away from Chicago's running backs this weekend, I think, altogether. Like, I'd be surprised if I had either one in my lineup this weekend at all.
The one thing that worries me about Tony Pollard a little bit, and it's hard not to play him at 6,300. I get it. But the one thing that does concern me is the pace of that game, because Chicago is going to want to just run the football.
They can try, but I think it's going to end up being a lot of 3-and-outs.
Aaron Jones could have a good game.
Yeah. I think Aaron Jones could be a good play this weekend. They're probably, no Allen Lazard. They're going to probably be playing catch up a lot.
Yeah,
like they're going to have to throw the ball, and the number of targets that Aaron Rodgers actually trusts.
Yeah, but it's also on Sunday Night Football too, so you're probably going to have to do a single game.
Yeah, but you'll have to play him. You'll have to play him in a showdown, on the island game slate or whatever.
Or if it's just fantasy. I mean, if you got Aaron Jones at fantasy.
Oh yeah, in your season long lineups, fire Aaron Jones up this weekend for sure. But like even on the even if you're playing the Sunday night island game, you should definitely have Aaron Jones in your lineup, and I think he could even be worth a throw at like a captain spot in at least one of your lineups just to see what happens. Because I do agree. I think that he's in for a big week this week.
I think so as well.
Very
much alike that Green Bay team.
Some other running backs that I'm nervous about this weekend, they're getting a little bit of hype because of injuries and trades and things, but I really don't want anything to do with the Jets running backs either. James Robinson coming over in the trade from Jacksonville, and then Michael Carter getting the post-Breece Hall injury bump. The Patriots have been pretty tough against the run, and I would imagine that Bill would probably prefer to let Zach Wilson try to beat him and just shut down the run game. Just guessing here, just throwing darts. If I was a defensive coordinator, I'd be like, you know what, I'm going to let that guy that's thrown for like 100 yards a game the last couple of games try to beat me. And so I would imagine between James Robinson just coming over through trade and then Michael Carter just being Michael Carter, I don't really have a lot of hope for for the Jets running backs either. So, there might be some hype around those guys because of the whole Brees Hall thing, but that's another situation similar to Chicago. I'm just staying away from this week.
Agreed. Yeah, that sucks too. I mean, it's great for Travis Etienne, but it really sucks because I think Carter would have kind of picked up where
I don't think it would have even been close.
I don't think he's the same player as Brees Hall, but in the same sense, I think the way they run the football, I think he would have picked up some good steam.
Here's a good question. How do you guys feel about Russell Wilson?
I don't really. I'm not excited to play. Like, I don't know if he's talking about just like real life, like if we want to jump on the we hate Russell Wilson train, or if he's talking about fantasy wise. But fantasy wise, I mean, let me find it.
His sandwich wasn't that bad. I had the last week.
Jacksonville gives up the 19th most points against the quarterback position, so they're kind of middle of the road. So you could do worse on quarterback matchups this week. It is, I believe that's another island game, with it being the London game this weekend.
Yep, it's a morning game.
Yeah, so
I'm coming off an injury. Maybe he's not right. Maybe he is
an island, but like an island morning game, Jacksonville versus Denver. Like I'll be surprised if I set a lineup for that island game, to be honest. But I think you could do worse if you want to put it in there. Let's be honest. Oh my Lord. Yeah, I'm not really qualified to discuss what he's got going on biologically, but
I don't know. He just had a foot long named after him, so I would imagine he's.
I thought you were going to leave it there for a second. I don't know. I mean, he's married to Ciara. I mean, you can't be too much.
He's somebody said that's the best thing he brought to Denver was his wife.
That's true. Yeah.
I didn't come up with that, but I thought it was great.
That is funny.
Really good. I think he's a good dude. I mean, I
like Russ, man. Like I think he's hilarious.
Being on the wagon, but man, he looks terrible. He does.
Bad. Yeah, he looks bad. He's like I said. Well, one, I think a big problem with it is like he's lost a step. So, like now, those plays where he used to be running away from guys, now they're catching him, and it used to not be like that. And not only that, but it seems like I don't know if it's just like his familiarity with the offense is still like trying to get there and stuff like that. But I mean, he's just not comfortable. Like his footwork's still jacked up. He's inaccurate. Like I don't know. It's weird. He's almost like a completely different quarterback than he has been like throughout his career. It's kind of odd. So he only cares about himself. You're not the first person to make that statement.
I think this guy knows a lot about Russell Wilson.
I say, man, you're not the first person to make that statement. So who knows? But anyway, so what about so we did our running backs. Let's get into our wide receivers here. Wide receiver, smash or pass? I hate the NFL. Do you have any wide receivers that you're high on this week?
I'm going to guess he probably has a lot that he doesn't like. If I had to guess, I feel like
the NFL. So
I feel like the obvious one this week has probably got to be DJ Moore, right? I mean, like the Falcons give up the most points to the wide receiver position as it is, and then there's no AJ Terrell this weekend either. So like an already bad pass defense that doesn't have their best defender, and DJ Moore has no Christian McCaffrey, no Robbie Anderson. Like I imagine that's probably got to be chalk this weekend, but
it is, but it's a good spot.
Yeah, you gotta like DJ Moore this weekend. And then the Steelers secondary, they're right behind Atlanta in terms of points given up to the wide receiver position. So you've got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and then one other. I talked about Derek Carr, right? And the amount of touchdowns going to Josh Jacobs, and feeling like that's going to turn. I feel like that's going to happen this weekend with the New Orleans Saints secondary without Marshawn Lattimore, and then you got Devontae Adams, who just hasn't really exploded much lately. I feel like this could be like a Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, like 3 touchdowns type of shit, like Josh Jacobs at the wide receiver position type of game. So those are a few games and then another reason I like Derek Carr is I love stacking him with Devontae Adams and then bringing it back with Chris Olave too in that same game. Like that's one of my favorite routes to go this weekend. So
I was gonna say I do like Olave a lot too.
So those are some of the guys that I like a lot this week.
Yeah, wide receiver, man. There's some good ones on here, but I'm trying to think of just some obvious. Tyreek Hill's in a great spot.
I like both those Miami receivers, and like even if and then if you want to fade Tyreek, I think you can just plug in Waddle instead. If you want to try to be a little bit different, because I imagine Tyreek's probably the more highly owned of the two.
Yes, Waddle is he's coming in about 12% as of right now, which he gained a little bit of steam. He was super low on the other day. Man, it's a dart throw, and I don't love it. But somebody I would take some chances on just based on the game script. They're going to have to throw the ball. I like Pickens. I do.
I agree.
I think he is their number one. I think is definitely not even a debate anymore. Even in losses, he's looked good. They've got an extremely tough matchup, but in the same manner, they're going to be playing from behind. So I would take some flyers on him for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it does. It seems like Kenny Pickett prefers George Pickens and Pat Freiermuth, and which, we can still talk about some more guys we like, but as far as like passes go, like Deontay Johnson was a guy I was completely avoiding this week just because of the tough matchup, and then the fact that Pickett has looked more toward Pickens and Pat Freiermuth's way. We did see some Steelers receivers like clamoring for them to throw the ball deep some more. So maybe you have like a squeaky wheel situation where they do take some deep shots and Deontay sees some success, but from what we've seen so far, just going off of what we've seen and what the match base deal with, I'm not a huge fan of Deontay. But if you want to take a stab at the Steelers receivers, I agree. I think Pickens is the best option to go that route with.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at some people. Maybe it's down here at the bottom that have some potential that could help us. It's a huge flyer, but there's a few names. Marquise Goodwin. I mean, if Tyler Lockett is out, there's no one else to throw the ball to at the wide receiver position.
Yep.
And it's not like they're facing like a beater as far as a defense. The Giants have played good defense, but they're more of a run-stopping defense. They do stop the passing game more, but he's got to throw the ball to somebody.
That's true. And I mean, I'm going to go with a high-priced guy here too, but I would be doing a disservice to the alpha of fantasy wide receivers if I didn't bring up Cooper Kupp, because he has absolutely torched the San Francisco Niners and the zone defense that they run. The last 3 games, he's averaging double-digit targets and 120-plus receiving yards a game against the 49ers. So I imagine that probably doesn't slow down. Jimmy Ward's just coming back from injury, who plays the majority of his snaps in the slot, as does Cooper Kupp, who plays 50% of his snaps in the slot. So, if slot receivers not named Cooper Kupp are tearing you up, then slot receiver Cooper Kupp is is going to tear you up, and he's got that history, of putting it to the 49ers as well. So I would imagine more of the same for him this week. So he's another guy that I don't mind paying up for.
He's somebody like he's currently at 12%. I think he'll be lower owned than that, to be honest with you, by Sunday because of the price tag. But you're absolutely right, man. Like you're looking at, there's a couple of things too. Justin Jefferson right now is low owned, but I just don't trust it with that team total being what it is. Like I think that's a game.
What do you think about DeAndre Hopkins?
It's a good game script for sure. I like it.
Or
the price
Waddell.
tag isn't too bad.
A good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's one more that I want to throw out there, but I think maybe we take some daggers on it, and that's Drake London. I hate to even say it out loud because he's not been great the last few weeks. I know.
Ain't doing it.
They're like, no.
The quarterback.
I'm not rolling out a single Atlanta Falcons pass catcher until Arthur Smith shows me he's capable of dialing up a game plan that involves throwing the ball more than 12 times a game. Not going to do it, man. Just not going to do it to myself.
It's
the running backs
are
worthless.
Saying it out loud, I can tell you that much. But
the running backs, not named Cordell Patterson, who's still hurt, they are worthless. And he will not throw to his two best weapons. He refuses to do so. Doesn't matter if he's down a field goal, a touchdown, 7 touchdowns. He will not throw the ball. So while Carolina would be ideally a fun matchup, and it seems like on paper, you should probably do it. I can't. I'm so fucking over Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
So far gone with Arthur that I can't do it. I don't blame anybody if they want to.
What are you gonna do if Arthur Smith wins the NFC South this year?
There's a chance he does, man.
I don't have to worry about living in that fantasy land. It's not gonna happen. What he's doing is not sustainable in 2022, and I don't give a shit what the record is. I don't care if they beat Carolina this week. I don't give a shit how many weeks they get to be in first place. All they're doing is fucking up their draft pick with a unsustainable play style and completely misusing their last 2 lottery picks. And just they've got 2 fucking top 10 pass catchers out there just running cardio every weekend, just getting their fucking miles in for no reason and running this stupid shit every weekend. It's not sustainable. It's not going to matter. I'm not going to have to live in that reality because it's not going to fucking happen.
Ooh.
In case you're curious how I feel.
Damn.
I hope it does happen now so we can play that back.
You can clip that one.
Just go full meltdown.
You can clip that one for sure. I deserve it. If they somehow pull it off, I deserve it. But I have no fucking faith, and I don't even care to pretend to live in that world for a second.
I just entered a lineup here. Finally.
Do you have Sam as your quarterback? Please tell me you do.
I do.
Outside of me talking about Deontay Johnson, who's some wide receivers that you guys feel like are guys to avoid this weekend?
I'm trying to think of some high end ones real quick.
Probably Pittman.
Yeah, I don't trust Michael Pittman this week at all. Now,
I trust Pittman, but like they said earlier, they asked Michael Pittman. They today they said, "Hey, when's the last time you caught a pass from Sam Ehlinger?" And he said it's been over a year. So
that's not exactly what you want from a chemistry.
Hey, I got one more
sleep. Like that Mad Men thing. Have you seen the Mad Men thing where it's like, "How you doing today?" He's just like, "Not great, Bob."
yeah.
So that's what I thought. It was just like, when's the last time you caught a pass from your quarterback? It's been over a year. It's just like, not great, Bob.
That's true. That's
how do you guys feel about Wan'Dale Robinson this week?
I'm always gonna like Wan'Dale.
Yeah, if the weather isn't super fucked in Seattle, I'm all about Wan'Dale this week. I love that play. I think that's a great call.
Yeah, 5,900. It's a good one.
Yeah, I agree.
It will depend on the weather, though. I'm with you on that. I'm trying to find a way not to play Sam Ehlinger.
You wait till you hear my lineup.
I'm leaning towards playing Sam Ehlinger.
You'll love it after.
I'm gonna put this out there, and I don't feel good about saying it, but I feel like I need to say it with me liking Cooper Kupp this week, me liking Devontae Adams this week.
You're playing Sam Ehlinger.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna play Sam.
Oh, I have Derrick Henry and Cooper Kupp. And Jalen Waddell and DJ Moore.
Well, yeah, he's definitely got Sam Ehlinger in his lineup if he's playing all.
And Miles Sanders. And George Pickens.
I'll say this much: Byron Murphy through the first 7 weeks has done a really good job slowing down teams' number one options in the passing game so far this season. Number one option this week is Justin Jefferson. And they move like Byron Murphy only shadows like 40% of the time. They move Justin Jefferson around enough to where like I think Justin Jefferson will still be fine this weekend. But considering what you have to pay to play Justin Jefferson versus some of the other guys that not only are also great players similar to Justin Jefferson, like Cooper Kupp and Devontae Adams, they also have more favorable matchups on top of the fact that they are also really talented players. So I think even though I think Jefferson could have a fine week this week, there's other guys I would prefer to pay up at the wide receiver position versus him. So, like, not saying I hate Jefferson this week or anything. Like, I'm fine if you want to throw him in there. There's just other guys, if I'm going to pay up at receiver, I would prefer to pay up on, basically.
I feel you. Yeah, I like Cooper. I like Cooper Kupp over Jefferson, and their price tag is not too far apart either. Not that I don't like Justin Jefferson. Like I would play Justin Jefferson every week if possible, but I'd rather play Dalvin Cook. Like I would take the discount on Dalvin Cook and play him with that team total. I'm trying to throw one together and talk at the same time. And
there's honestly there's not a lot of receivers I don't like this week.
There's a lot of good wide receivers.
Yeah, this is a pretty good week for receivers. So,
Landon, are you gonna play Ellinger? Because if you are, I'm not.
Oh yeah, I did.
Okay, all right.
I've also played Taylor Heineke though. Also.
All right, so tight ends, as gross as this is, we've got to do it.
Kylan Granson.
Yeah, so as I said, as gross as this is, we've got to do it. I can already tell you my favorite tight end play for this week, and it's gross. It's the same game as Justin Jefferson, but I love me some Big Irv Smith Jr. this week.
Big Irv.
Mostly because he plays the Arizona Cardinals, who it seems like every tight end that plays the Cardinals this year has their best game of the season while they play the Cardinals. They are just so damn bad against the tight end. They are 30, to be exact, they are 31st in terms of fantasy points against at the tight end position. The only team that's worse is Seattle, who's playing the Giants, and I believe Daniel Bellinger, the rookie, he's hurt. So, like, I don't even know who you would play it.
Broken eye socket, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He got, like, punched in the fucking eye. That was brutal.
Yeah, they punched him through his face mask.
Yeah, that's
not like, I mean, they didn't, like, punch him like a fight.
Well, yeah, not on purpose, but you should have been wearing a visor. Not only are they swaggy, but they can protect you from getting your eye socket punched out. But so that's the only team that's worse against the tight end position than the Cardinals. So Irv is pretty cheap, and he has a great matchup. So I like me some Irv Smith, and then I'm gonna quadruple dip on the fucking Miami game at this point, but I like some Mike Gesicki too if you want to be a little different and, you know, play like Waddle and Gesicki or Tyreek and Gesicki instead of playing both receivers. I think that's a viable option as well. So I would say those are probably my two favorite tight end plays. And then if you want to do the Minnesota-Arizona game, if you think it's a shootout, on the other side, on the opposite side of Irv Smith, you got Zach Ertz as well. I don't think he's a bad play either. But you know, Travis Kelce's on bye. Mark Andrews barely played on Thursday night. You know, it sucks he got hurt. But like, you know, so the top two tight ends that are the difference makers every single week, neither of them are on this slate. So I think this is a good week to try to get a little creative rather than paying up for George Kittle. You know, so I like trying to target some of the cheaper guys. So. If there's ever a week to play Granson, I guess it's fucking this one. I don't know, man.
I can't get there. I just can't do it. I think I've got something in place here, but that'll work out pretty good. I'm just trying to figure out. Oh Lord, help me. So, what's the status on Elijah Moore right now? Is he completely done?
On who?
Elijah Moore.
I mean, I don't think he's active. No.
I didn't think so. Well, shoot. I'm trying to find some low-end pieces just basically to fill something out. I'm going to have to reevaluate.
Well, shit. I got Terry McLaurin in there.
I cannot imagine that being the play, but oh my gosh, what am I doing here?
We still talking about tight ends we like, or we moved on to tight ends we don't like?
We've moved on.
Yeah,
we've moved forward. I think we're ready.
Oh, we're
I
off.
think we're sitting here trying to set something up.
We're off tight
really
ends all together. All right. Well, I mean, for what it's worth, I think George Kittle's I believe George Kittle's the costliest tight end on FanDuel this week, and it just so happens that the Los Angeles Rams have given up the least amount of points to the tight end this week. So if you've ever, like I said, if there's ever a week to fade high-priced tight ends, I feel like it's this week. And then similar to that, I don't know if Darren Waller's going to play or not, but if he does play, New Orleans is also a really difficult matchup for tight ends. So I think this is the week to try to get creative with tight ends. With the main guys being off the slate, and then the quote unquote top guys this week having difficult matchups and or dealing with injuries. I don't see any situation where I'm paying up for tight end this week.
Yeah, I have my pick of what I want to do.
So. All right, so are we gonna get into like the 3-man rush lineups, or do you guys want to do the showdown first between like against us three, and then get into the lineups? How you guys want to do it?
Let's do the showdown.
Let's do the
showdown first. All right, you guys got your lineups ready?
Yep.
All right, hang on just a second.
Landon, I hate you so much for bringing up Sam Ehlinger. I feel obligated to play this asshole now. And I know like it's going to bite me in the ass, and I'm going to be so mad with their 21-point total that they have.
That's right, baby.
But I think I found a way to not feel as bad about it.
All right, so showdown time. I don't think it's much of a secret anymore, but Landon, who you playing quarterback this week for our week 8 3-man rush DFS showdown?
It's Sam Allen.
Rolling with Sam. All right, Jared, you got your showdown quarterback picked out?
Yeah, it's Sam Ehlinger.
Look at this, baby.
I have my reasons.
You'll
see in a second. Yeah, you'll see in a second. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I don't feel good about it whatsoever, but
welcome to the Thunderdome, bitch.
I'm not going with Sam. I'm gonna.
Drew's like, I'm smart.
You've probably won already.
I'm gonna roll with Tua. I'm gonna go with Tua at quarterback and for our showdown.
Hey, I mean, like mobile quarterbacks, weak arms.
Well, I mean, Tua's weak arm like leads the league in ADOS, so I don't know, but all right, running back position. Who's the 2 starter running backs for you guys? Y'all better have some fire running backs. Okay, yeah. So if you're rolling out Sam, you better have some fire running backs. Jared, what about you?
I have. Well, do you want my flex too? Because it's also a running back.
No. Just give me your 2 running backs.
I've got Eno Benjamin and Dalvin Cook.
Okay, all right. I'm rolling. I'm rolling Tony Pollard. And then with no Chuba Hubbard this week, I'm going to get Deontay Foreman in there as well. So I got Pollard and Foreman as my 2 running backs. All right, Landon, your 3 receivers.
All right. DJ Moore, Jalen Waddell, and Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, that right there is where you benefit from saving some money at the quarterback position.
Also Derrick Henry and Miles Sanders.
Yeah, that too, obviously. Having those 3 receivers, that's say one more time for me.
All right, the 3 wide receivers have DJ Moore, Jalen Waddell, Cooper Kupp.
So I'm going to go next just because my 3 receivers are Cooper Kupp, Jalen Waddle, and Chris Olave. So I don't have DJ Moore, but I do have 2 of them who are the same. But I got Olave in there. Jared, who's your 3 receivers?
Very similar. Brandon Cooks, Jalen Waddle, and Cooper Kupp.
What is this?
So we got the Cooper Kupp triple stack. All right. What about tight end, Landon? Did you roll with Granson?
Kyler Granson.
Crazy son of a bitch. All right, Jared, what about you? You joining them on the crazy train?
Nope. So I wanted a Tua double stack. I'm going to do it the odd way out, though. I'm going to play Mike Gesicki.
Yeah, I like it. I went with Big Irv. I talked about him earlier, but I put Big Irv in mine. All right, so flex in a defense, Landon. Who you finishing out with the flex in a defense?
Flex, I got George Pickens.
Okay.
And the Houston Texans.
Okay. Jared, what about yourself? Flex in a defense.
So I wanted some correlation with my lineup, and since my running back is Sam Ehlinger, my defense is the Indianapolis Colts. And Tony Pollard is my flex.
Okay. All right. So we both got Pollard on a line. I like the Colts defense though. Taylor Heineke, Darius Leonard coming back. I like that. And then like you said, it makes a lot of sense with the other roster decisions you made.
I didn't have enough money.
So I got the Tua Waddle stack. I got to bring that back somewhere, right? So I got Amon-Ra St. Brown in my flex, bringing that back against Tua and Waddle. And then I don't have any Colts players in my lineup, so I went with the Commanders defense, betting against the rookie in his first start. They were a really cheap defense, so just throwing them in to save some money. So that's how I finished out my lineup for our first showdown of this season. I know we did this a couple times last year, and I personally had a lot of fun doing it. Just these little mini competitions, and if you're listening to this. Head over to the 3 Man Rush Podcast Twitter account. We're gonna post the link for you guys to be able to join with us and play against us on a little 10-person showdown just to win a little small pot just for fun. I don't know if you guys had as much fun as I did, but I think this might be something fun to do on a weekly basis for the rest of the year. Just a little fun exercise. We put lineups together with each other as a group effort, and then this just gives us a chance to kind of plant our flag on the guys that we like individually the most for the week. So I think that's a fun little thing for us to be able to do. But yeah, so there's week 8 DFS showdown. A whole lot of Sam Ehlinger and a whole lot of Cooper Kupp.
God dang.
Jalen Waddle too.
Yeah, a whole lot of Waddle too. That's true. All right, you guys want to build a FanDuel lineup together real quick?
Yeah. Let's throw it together. Let's not play Ehlinger.
Jared, you got your screen up to where you could throw it up there for us?
Yeah, give me just 1 second. Let me get this thing up and going here.
Yeah, no rush. Let's not play Sam Ehlinger. I think you guys got enough built into got enough of risk running on Sam Ehlinger right now.
Man, I wonder if I get tax write-offs for donations because
of the money you're donating to FanDuel this week.
Fucking donating money to them at this point. Let's see here.
You want to hear probably my work, like the stack that feels the most gross to me is not because of the receiver, because of the quarterback.
Sam Ehlinger and Kyler Granson.
So I'm not willing to be that much. So that one doesn't work for me. For me,
I'm about to win is $1 million.
For me, it's all week, baby. Let's do this shit.
For me, it's Andy Dalton and Chris Olave. And so I love Chris Olave, but just the idea of Andy Dalton. But the Raiders literally.
Like the idea of Andy Dalton.
No, I don't. Not even in the slightest. But the Raiders give up the most points to the quarterback position in fantasy on a weekly basis. They are the worst defense.
I thought about Andy Dalton. And so I don't hate it. I really don't.
The idea of an Andy Dalton, Chris Olave, Devontae Adams stack is just like. so appealing to me, but that means I'm depending on fucking Andy Dalton though. So like it's gross, but let's
Do you
throw up
think
there.
Andy Dalton, like at this point, like at this very moment this season,
Yeah.
do you think Andy Dalton is
I
on the
don't think so.
same like atmosphere as like Derek Carr?
No.
No.
No, Derek Carr's better.
Yeah, just from the simple fact of like Derek.
How many 3 touchdown games has Derek Carr had this season?
I don't know, but I'd be willing to bet he hasn't had any games where he threw pick
Throws-
sixes on back-to-back
Yeah,
drives, though.
multiple, yeah. That's a
Hey,
bad-
that's only -1 point.
That's true.
So,
That's
like,
true.
I'm talking pure fantasy. I'm not talking about anything else. Andy Dalton.
Okay. Fantasy-wise, yeah, sure, you can group them together. I have no problem with that.
Andy Dalton has, in 4 games, he has the one where he threw for 4 touchdowns against Arizona, which their defense is the same. I mean, I would say the Raiders' secondary is probably worse.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, he had 3 interceptions, but then it's only been
Mhm.
1 touchdown, 1 touchdown, 1 touchdown.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's why we call it gambling. So.
But Derek Carr has been like 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 0.
Yeah,
2,
Josh
2,
Jacobs has been still in the show, which is
Yeah.
part of why I like Derek Carr, is because I just feel like that is nowhere near sustainable. But
It's also
just,
makes him a lot more efficient as well.
yeah, it does.
He's been extremely efficient.
Oh, that game's in a dome.
Yeah, it's in New Orleans, right?
Oh, shit, Derek Carr. I hate you so much, Derek Carr.
I
This
know.
might be
I've already got him in one lineup, so we don't have to put him in this lineup if you guys don't want to. I've already got some Derek Carr exposure this week.
I'm
But
cool
it's
with a
the-
little
I
bit of Tua. I think we all like Tua this week.
Yeah, he's in my showdown lineup, so you guys know I like him.
So you want to go Tua?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
I'm fine. I'm going to. So
Alright.
do we? We got to stack him.
Spotify.
We got to stack him with Waddle or Tyreek. So which one we're gonna do?
Well, I mean, I think we all got a lot of Jalen Waddell, so why don't we do a Tyreek lineup?
Do a Tyreek one.
Do Tyreek.
All right.
Marshawn Lattimore.
I keep going on the wrong screens. I got too much shit up. Let's see here. Oh, Tyreek Hill. Okay, well, we're keeping the theme. I'm double stacking a quarterback.
We're gonna
So,
double stack him with
I
Gesicki.
mean, to be fair, the last time I did double stack Tua with Waddell and Tyreek Hill,
So now
I scored like 215 points.
It worked out really well.
Yeah.
do we bring that? Do we bring that back with Amon Ra, or do we bring that back with DeAndre Swift?
Kinda like DeAndre
Swift being a
Swift.
with Swift being a pass catching running back.
There's
Like,
so
you know,
much
he-
value at
Oh,
running back.
Plus, he's so
He's so underpriced
so-
right now with him coming off an injury.
well. He's so efficient too. Like even if he's in
Yeah.
limited touches.
Well,
like,
and if you look at where if you look at the players he's grouped around right now because of his pricing with it being first game off of injury, like he's a guy I've gotten quite a few lineups this week just because of how fucking good he is. Like this is probably going to be the cheapest you get him this year as long as he stays healthy.
there's a good chance of that. Yeah.
He's been like every week he's been healthy. He's been like a top 5, top 10 running back at worst.
Yeah, because that third week he got hurt. So
Right. I think he was a top 5 running back the first 2 weeks.
Let's roll the dice. Let's go DeAndre Swift.
all right,
I like it. I like it.
I like
So
this lineup.
we're looking for running back 2 now.
RB2.
Let's start with a defense real quick. Let's do the Commanders' defense going up against Sam Allen.
Okay.
I like that. I like it.
Landon, you're doubling down.
Oh, I made a completely different lineup that's literally the exact like screws the Colts. Like if the Colts suck, this lineup's gonna hit.
Or,
They both suck.
hear me out a second. Seattle and potential rain against Daniel Jones.
It's not a bad option either. Seattle's pass defense has been really solid. Tariq Woolen and company. If they're going to get beat, it's going to be because of Saquon. Like I don't think Daniel Jones and the passing offense and if the rain holds off, then they might be able to get a little something going. But
Well,
Can I
Daniel Jones can
express
run.
why I want to do this so bad?
See the Commanders. they're
There's a
playing
guy I
Colts.
want on this team that I think
I think the
Okay.
Seahawks have a better a more talented defense right now. than Washington. Washington has the benefit of playing against a rookie quarterback, though.
So what if we went with Seattle's defense and then we stack it with Kenneth Walker?
Ooh.
For a
I don't
little
hate that. I don't
correlation.
hate that either. I mean, I obviously like Washington's defense. I've got them in my my showdown lineup, so I have no problem with I have no problem with either one of those. Whatever one you guys want to do, I'm good with. I like both of those options.
Well, and you want to go Washington?
I mean, I think Washington's a better bet, and I know it's $100, but they're still cheaper.
Okay, we'll go Washington.
I just probably don't. I probably don't want really any part of the Seattle Giants game.
Okay, I mean that's fair.
I mean, I think it's going to be a fun game as far as like watching it from like a real life perspective, but I don't know if
I like both running backs quite a bit in that game because both rushing defenses are pretty bad, and then you got two really talented running backs. But that's really all I want to do with it. And then like I said, whenever I'm building a lineup, I really only want one or the other. So like I like both of them, but just take your pick if you want to play a running back from the game. But outside of that, I really don't want a whole lot to do with that game. Let's see some running backs that.
I mean,
Miles Sanders is another one's a little cheaper. I don't know if he's chalk or not, but we already got too much Dolphins. Never mind. So I'm going to skip on Mostert on this one.
We could throw Pollard in there, 6,300.
Yeah, and Deontay Foreman right in front of him, man. No Chuba Hubbard this week. I like Foreman and Pollard quite a bit right there in that 6,400 range. I think those are probably the last two guys that I'm really interested in at running back. Like as far as cheap goes, like beyond that, I really don't want anything to do with the running back position this week. But I
have a play.
I do like Pollard and Foreman.
Go Pollard.
Why don't you do Pollard and then Foreman in the flex?
So why don't we double down on our defense and we go Pollard at 63, who's cheaper than Foreman with a higher team total, right? And then we play Brian Robinson.
I just don't like running back core.
I was trying to see if I can get you guys on board with it.
They use Robinson, Gibson, and McKissick.
Not only that, but the Colts are actually good against the run.
Well, I mean that they used to be, but is that really still a thing this year?
Not really.
Yeah, I mean they still are.
Okay, so do we Foreman? You guys go with Foreman?
I mean, Derrick Henry finally broke 100 yards, but it took him 30 carries.
I mean, the Colts are 21st. They give up the 21st, like they're 21st against the running back position this year in terms of fantasy points per game. So I mean, that's the
two Derrick Henry games.
Well, yeah, I mean they were also bad against Jacksonville. They were also bad against Denver.
This lineup actually
they were also balanced. They gave up 13 points to the running back position against Kansas City, 12 to Houston the first game of the year, but Damian Harris's first professional game of his career. Like, at least fantasy wise, they gave up 22 fantasy points to the running back position against Denver.
I mean, just total there was 1, 2, 3, 4. There were 5 guys used.
I mean, but the points still were given up. I mean, it doesn't, but
it's 22 split between 5 different guys.
Yeah, but not every team is going to run 5 running backs out there every week. Like the moral of the story is they're still bleeding points to the running back position. Like it's not the Colts run defense that we're used to, and that's okay. It's just it's not. But Darius Leonard being out there could very well make a difference, though. Like it could be different.
Patrick Mahomes was their leading rusher with 26 yards.
Okay, well, that doesn't factor into the points they gave up to the running back position that week, though.
Okay.
I don't
7 carries for 20 yards.
I don't care how many yards
Isaiah Pacheco 3 carries for 9 yards.
They gave up.
Edwards-Helaire 7 carries for 0 yards.
They gave up 15.5 fantasy points, which was good for 13th that week, which is middle of the pack.
Yeah,
against a team that has basically no good running backs.
7 carries for 0 yards, but I guess he did get the quarterback sneak touchdown.
I don't care how the fantasy points come. I just care that they come.
We got 2 more wide receivers to pick here.
Wide receivers to pick. Oh, you were just saying how every team's not going to use all those running backs, and then you just said about Washington that they use all those running backs.
I said I didn't like Washington. Like, not liking Washington and also thinking that Indy's run defense isn't as good as it's been in years past can both be true. Those don't have to be like.
I mean, I guess because I don't really view it as far as fantasy points. Like, I don't care about fantasy points. Like,
on tonight's show, we probably should.
Yeah. Whenever I hear like this guy's bad, and then or like this is bad, and then I don't like it's just to me like it's like well like it's not bad. It's just fantasy points. Like,
how are we doing on average salary right now?
We got 7,300
per player.
Oh, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad. There's so much value.
So we can pay up at receiver then, at least for like
Absolutely.
one of these 2 spots.
Cooper Kupp.
I mean, I like AJ Brown this week. I like Cooper Kupp. I like Devontae Adams. So I mean, there's a couple there's several of the high price guys I like this week. I think this is a good receiver week. Got good players and good matchups. The only high price, like I said earlier, the only high price receiver I'm not like super excited to play is Justin Jefferson. And even him, I'm still.
We
I'm
never
still
did
fine
Cooper
with Justin
Kupp.
Jefferson.
You want to play Cooper Kupp?
We should go Cooper Kupp. We never played Cooper Kupp.
You got 5,300 left.
Well, we got just one receiver and we need 5,300. All right, so that puts us in. Let's see, receiver.
We can play Philip Dorsett.
I'll tell you, a guy I don't hate is Robbie Anderson. He's at 5,300. It's another week in Arizona's offense.
I think Pettis is interesting too.
They're playing. Arizona's playing Minnesota. Their secondary is suspect. Robbie Anderson has another week in the offense. We're still waiting for Kyler to break out. So I don't hate Robbie Anderson this week. I don't hate KJ. I don't hate KJ Osborne in the same game.
I think Robbie Anderson's got the more boom play ability too.
I think KJ in the same game, but I think KJ Osborne and Robbie Anderson are really the only 2 guys that I'm excited about in that range playing in the same game.
What about cheaper?
Cheaper than 5,300?
It gets pretty gross whenever you're talking about cheaper than 5,300. You're talking about like Terrace Marshall Jr.
Zacchaeus. That's Jared's boy right there.
Ben Skoranek.
Those 4 targets.
You got Ben Skoranek. You got Nico
Collins out there.
Nico Collins didn't practice Friday though.
This one's interesting.
That sucks. If Nico Collins would have practiced this week and then had that matchup against Tennessee, I wouldn't have hated that. But
2 of 4 targets for 20 yards and a touchdown.
Tennessee's secondary is really bad, but that's so gross.
I mean, we're playing some Ellens.
We're talking about Long Neck Mills is like 3rd option in the passing game, man. That's
Long Neck Ice Cold Mills never broke one.
Traquan Smith, Nick Westbrook Akine.
We're in a pretty gross territory for receivers.
You know what?
So if we were able to save a little bit of money, like
what if Tua just goes bananas?
Oh, Trent Sherfield.
You said 5,300 is where we were at, right? If we could possibly save a couple $100 somewhere, we could get to George Pickens is 5,500.
If
Alec Pierce is 58.
So then, what about getting rid of
Wandale Robinson's 5,900. Like if we could just fine $300, $400, $500.
So what if we go for?
Wait.
I
think I have an idea. Let me see if it'll work.
Okay. If you don't stop.
4,400. Save $1,000. Uh-oh.
Oh, you put in Big Irv? Where'd that get us to at receiver?
Oh, hear me out a second. Ugh.
Drake London.
We're so close, though. Scroll up a little bit. I know it's like out of our price range, but look how close we are. Keep going. Where's Wandell? Go back down to Wandell.
59.
59. What is it? How short are we from 59? I can't see.
Oh, my.
200.
200.
200. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, I would
love to be able to throw Wandell in there.
I mean, if you would have played Sam Ellinger.
Now we're sacrificing too much.
I was thinking this is disgusting, but hear me out a second.
Oh, no. Gesicki. When you going Waddell?
Hear me out. Yeah. Waddle. We'll pay down. I know we've played a lot of him, but I think he still has the upside, and that leaves us 6,200.
Okay. All right. So what are we looking at now? We're looking at it.
We play DJ Moore.
Ooh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's nice.
There's
That's
your tournament winner.
Nice. That's real nice. I like that lineup.
I'm playing this lineup here, huh? So.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, don't
Let
pause.
me get this bad boy in here.
Let me get my charger. My laptop's about to die.
Oh yeah, you can't die on us now.
DeAndre Swift. There it is. Tony Pollard. What a country. Tony Pollard, 6,300.
What we got?
We didn't get the Drake and 21 Savage album today, but my God, Tony Pollard, 6,300.
I know. They got pushed to November 4th, right?
Yeah.
Next Friday. It's all right. It's going to be a banger. All right. We got Tua. We got Swift. What else? We got Tua, Swift, Pollard.
Cooper Kupp. DJ.
All right. I got power.
Tight end. We got Gesicki.
That's your Tua stack.
Foreman.
The good thing about this is like this lineup. So we got a good balance of chalk and not chalk. So Foreman, Moore, Waddle's at 12. That's not terrible. No one's going to play DeAndre Swift. I think that's a good call. And then Gesicki is going to be very underowned. Washington defense is going to be popular.
Yeah, they seem like the kind of the popular cheap defense.
I like it.
There we go.
Let's
submit.
Let's go.
Let's cash.
But
we're going to save
cash, homie.
Not only we save salary, we're going to save a significant amount of ownership too between Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
I like it. I like that lineup. That's nice. What about DraftKings? We got a DraftKings lineup we can do this week.
I can throw something together here real quick. Hold on 1 second.
And then we'll be able to close out week 8 for good.
In the books. I said, you want to hear my other lineup I have? Like that basically is like the anti-Colts lineup.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. Got Taylor Heineke. Derrick Henry, because he's a Titan.
Anti-Colts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the Titans win, the Colts lose, the Commanders do good. Like this is Taylor Heineke, Derrick Henry, Tony Pollard, Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin with Taylor Heineke, Robert Woods with Derrick Henry, Mike Gesicki, DJ Moore, and the Commanders defense.
What did I tell you guys about Terry McLaurin last week?
I mean, I haven't been.
I said the moment Heineke was their quarterback, I said, look out for Terry McLaurin.
You did say that, and sure enough, it happened.
It's all we saw last year.
Ugh, man, that game sucked.
Even Taylor Heineke was asked about it, and he was like, "Yeah, I mean, he was like, he's paid a lot of money, so I feel like I should just throw the ball up to him sometimes."
See the
Tyler
Taylor
Heineke might be
thing
the
where
hardest quarterback
every time he wins a game, he buys Jordans of the color of the team he just beat.
That's some corny shit right there, boy.
I loved it. I think it was hilarious. He had a pair of green and yellow Jordans.
So he's got like what, 5 pairs of Jordans?
They were
fair,
not too long ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, he led them to the playoffs. Almost beat Brady. Almost beat Brady.
Yeah, so he almost got to buy another pair of Jordans.
Yeah, he almost did.
He probably could get Brady at this point.
Well, he almost beat the Buccaneers.
No, quarterbacks just play 1v1.
Yeah, I was gonna say they don't play 1-versus-1 against each other.
Do you guys see the DraftKings?
Not yet. Here, let me.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Here,
let me take down the FanDuel one.
All right, hold on 1 second here.
See, Emmanuel Acho's back on his shit again.
He put that shit on again.
Yeah, put that shit on. But yeah, I actually had to mute him. I muted him last night. I was like, I can't.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. All right, what are we doing? What are we doing on DraftKings? I know it's a little different than FanDuel. I don't hardly really play DraftKings, but
let's play Derek Carr.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's do it. So
Derek Carr, Devontae, and then Chris Olave bringing it back, right? Like that's kind of the
totally down with it.
Like we got
Devontae gonna be okay. He's ill.
No, he's fine. Yeah, he was sick, but they said he's gonna play and he'll be fine.
DeAndre Swift.
What is what's our boy at on here? Tony Pollard. I bet he's like
you just missed him. Yeah,
6,100. I figured you guys were totally.
Jim Dante Foreman.
Let's see. Whoa!
53.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
So on DraftKings, we got to save some salary. Who you want to double stack Derek Carr with? Mac Hollins?
He's hurt too.
I'm probably I don't have a lot of faith in anybody outside of Devontae Adams in that game personally.
Josh Jacobs?
He's gonna be expensive. Yeah, he's pretty pricey.
I don't like saying this, but and I don't know if it can fit into it price wise. I don't know what his price is like, but I'm a little nervous about Christian McCaffrey this week. Like in terms of like I'm afraid what he's gonna do to the Rams.
Well, Deebo Samuel's also not playing, so
that's why
I was thinking the same thing.
That's partially why. Just with him having another week being integrated into the offense, no Deebo Samuel.
I imagine he's
probably going to get. He did look good in limited touches. He's probably going to get a lot of the manufactured touches that Deebo typically gets. And Deebo.
Let's blow this thing up real quick.
Deebo in the running back role against the Rams has been very successful in the past. So McCaffrey, I feel like this might be like. I feel like, especially on DraftKings, this is probably going to be the cheapest McCaffrey's ever going to get.
I agree. On DraftKings, it makes a lot of sense.
Especially in DraftKings full PPR.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Tony Pollard would be another good one.
Yeah, so I love McCaffrey and Swift would probably be like my favorite DraftKings play this week with it being full PPR.
Let's see what we can team jam them in here. Let's see if we can figure it out. Because we almost have to play Pollard, right?
That's so hot. That is.
Yeah, we gotta figure out this salary. Let's pay down.
You don't. I've got the answer.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying.
At the rate this is
You gotta
going,
pay
we
to
may
play,
have to.
boys.
You want to play Commanders defense?
Sure.
2,600.
We're not playing the boy.
As long as we're not playing Ellinger.
We're not playing the boys. So
Okay, so we have an average salary of 51.60. The playlist. We're gonna
So we
have
need to spin
to.
down a little bit somewhere.
Yeah, we're gonna have to spend.
what's
down.
Dante Foreman? 53?
Yeah, but the only
Oh,
problem is
never mind.
Swift.
Yeah. Never mind.
What
Wide
about
receiver.
so what about Kirk Cousins at quarterback?
He's probably gonna be more expensive than Derek Carr.
Yeah, he is.
But I think I know what
Is
You
you're
go
he-
KJ Osborne.
Wait.
If he's more expensive than Derek Carr, then I would be fine with playing Derek Carr. Just like I was reading something just a minute ago that since 2020, Kirk Cousins is averaging 275 yards and over 2 passing touchdowns a game at home.
So
and then they get Arizona coming into the town. So
I think something we can do here.
Him and
Oh,
Osborne.
yeah.
but
We
I
can-
kind of like I like Kirk and Big Irv.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could pay down with Kurt and Irv basically against Arizona, and then that gives us 5,400 at wide receiver. It helps out quite a bit actually. 5,400.
So DJ Moore there.
DJ Moore, yeah. For DJ Moore, yeah, 5,450. It's full point PPR.
Let's see. 100. Wow. 100 rib press there. George Pickens right there.
He's getting
47.
targeted.
4,700, and then that allows us to pay up a little bit.
Yeah. I wish that weather was better in that game.
Oh,
But
hell yeah. Look at here.
6,200. Drew, what do you think?
What's up, Zach? How you doing, baby?
My God.
You handsome son of a bitches. Right back at you, you handsome motherfucker.
Oh. Bam. There you go.
Adam Thielen.
There's your double stack.
Oh yeah, Adam Thielen's chasing some type of touchdown record for the Vikings too. Like he's like a handful of touchdowns away from being like third all time on the Vikings in touchdowns or something. So like they've got a narrative to try to get him the ball too. So I don't hate that.
That's
I really
been
don't.
perfect actually. With the Irv Smith, Adam Thielen double stack, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, so we're fading on paying up on Jefferson this week, but still getting in on the Vikings Cardinals game. I like that.
That's a solid line.
That's different.
Lock it in. Lock it in, dude.
Lock it
Lock
in.
her in.
I don't even
Lock
fucking
it down.
have any. I don't even have any money in my DraftKings Kings account, so I'm not gonna be locking.
I have $3.69 in there, and I have $2.04 currently in my FanDuel account.
Well, that's probably because you've already got like $150 set up for week 8 for FanDuel.
I wish it was 150.
Yeah, it's like probably more than that. He probably has 150 on one game.
So, all right. In all fairness, the tournament I like the most on FanDuel, and look, it's because I've got a balance. I like playing that $100 tournament.
I told you.
Because there's less than 1,000 people in it. There's less than 1,000 people in it. And as long as you can outsmart half the field, you're good. But
so what are your guys' feelings about like the head-to-heads or like the small cash tournaments?
I don't play cash. I to me, like if I'm gonna play fantasy sports, I want to win actual money. Like I don't want to play.
Man, it seems like such an easy layup to just double up your money if you just let other people play stupid shit and make mistakes, and you just play like that seems like that seems like the environment where you can just play chalk and just double up some money real quick.
Sure. I mean, I think it's definitely.
I like easy
Cash
profit.
has gotten smarter though, man. It's not like it once was. Cash games used to be like literally run an optimizer, put that in there, and be done. You got to make at least one or two little adjustments, but it's still really easy to hit the cash lines. I think it's a great way to get started. Like I would play if it was me cash games over head to heads if you're trying to build your bankroll. Head to heads, you're gonna have a lot of sharks in there, like a lot, and
you're gonna have
very long time.
Somebody, and they're gonna be like, "This motherfucker's playing Sam Ellinger," and then guess what? Boom.
Yeah, I can.
Sam Ellinger is a DFS play. That's a GPP play right there.
Yeah, that's a tournament play. You bet fucking not play Sam Ellinger in a fucking cash tournament. No shot.
Absolutely not. You're looking for floor in cash, and you're looking for
you're
looking just to be different in tournaments and hoping you're hit the nuts. That's pretty much what you want to do.
Hit the nuts.
That's the reason why I know it's not sexy or anything else, but like to me, like a tournament play, if you're betting on Ellinger having a horrible game, and you're gonna play the Washington defense, which is gonna be chalky, Brian Robinson is the perfect tournament play. Because if he has that game,
falls into the end zone a couple times, then
I
don't fucking.
I know. I get it. Trust me, it doesn't feel good.
Washington running backs, man, because I wish they would just trade Antonio Gibson before the deadline. That's what I wish, man. Set that man free. Let him live. Like let him flourish somewhere.
I think though, like we have to recognize this point what teams are doing.
Bottom of the 10th. Yep. 6-5.
The Phillies took the lead?
Yep.
Let's go.
Crap. That game was out of control in the beginning, too.
Dude, they're 2 outs away in the bottom of the 10th.
Oh, my God. Let's go, Philly. Who came up clutch? Oh, Realmuto homered. No way. No way he hit a top of the end. No way he hit a top 10th home run in the tie game. He had just doubled to tie the game in the fucking 5th, and then he hit a home run in the 10th.
Fox Sports.
Wow. The World Series is so dope. That's something I'll tell you. I'm very guilty of, like, whenever the Cardinals get eliminated from the postseason, I stop watching until the World Series.
I always watch the World Series.
I always tap back in for the World Series, but depending on when the Cardinals get eliminated, like I'm not watching the championship series and the leagues and shit like that. I might, like, if there's nothing else on, or if I just happen to be sitting in front of the TV, I'll turn it on. But the World Series, though, oh shit, that's the big
right now.
That's the big at bat. That's Tucker's. He already has 2 home runs.
He's already had 2 home runs tonight.
Yeah, he's already had 2.
Yeah, he's had a monster game.
And there's one on base. He can walk off right now.
I think one of them was like a 3-run homer too. So I think he's got like 4 RBIs on top of the 2 homers tonight.
Come on, Robert.
Oh, come on. Bottom 10, 2 outs.
Let's go. He struck it out.
Whoa. Fuck yeah, baby. 1-0. Let's go, baby.
Not yet. One more out. That was the second out.
They're good. They got Kyle Tucker down. They're good. They're good.
Man,
they're good.
I love it. And we're live here. We're live. You're joining us on Twitter live. You're joining us on YouTube live.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're having to hang out and watch the end of this Phillies game with us, but
there's Gary up right now. Come on, Robertson.
Close this shit out. Come on, Big David.
They still won in Houston.
Oh man, if they still game, especially with how the game started out.
Oh, that's a dirty ball.
Like Houston scored the first 5 runs of this game by the 3rd inning, and they haven't scored since then.
That's crazy. Verlander was going like.
And Verlander did his best World Series Verlander impression. He showed up like he usually does in the World Series. He's a great regular season pitcher and a great postseason pitcher leading up to the World Series, but World Series Verlander came out to play in the 4th.
It looked through 3 innings that it was.
Yeah, and then he had to go through the lineup for the 3rd time, and the lineup was like, nah, we're here to fuck shit up. It's the World Series, baby. Oh, come on, man. Come on, Robertson. Set him down.
Love this. We might as well just stay on here live just for this.
Yeah, just finish it out, right? I mean, bottom 10, 2 outs. Come on. Let's go.
He's trying to get him to chase. He's got Diaz on deck after this, so don't do anything stupid. 3-1. Come on, man. Come on, man. Nope, he walked him.
Yeah. Trey Mancini.
See, they got Diaz on deck there. He's up to bat.
2 balls and a strike on Mancini.
Mancini.
Pepperzini's?
Oh, no, Diaz, sorry. I'm listening to the radio, but then watching it on.
Shoot, I haven't even got up here. He's not even up to bat yet. I'm watching YouTube TV.
Yeah, the radio stream is right on tap. I didn't even pull up the TV stream because I was afraid the game would be over by the time I got it pulled up. But now that it's taking a second, what we got going on the YouTube comments. Trace calls game right here, my son.
Yes,
the World Series is on Fox, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So let's see if I can get it pulled up before the game's over.
Yeah. I got somebody on third.
Hey, is Tannehill potentially out on Sunday?
Yeah, we talked about it earlier.
Oh.
I said it could be Malik Willis time.
Houston defense might be legit then.
Come on, Philly.
Tennessee's got a pretty decent
Wild
run
pitch.
defense, don't they?
Holy shit. Oh, yeah, Tennessee's run defense is really good. They're better than
That's what I thought.
good. They're top 5 in the league right now.
Man, nobody's going to play DeAndre Swift. We are.
Damn right we are.
Damn right.
I don't know how he's. So I understand he's coming off injury, but shit.
I mean, he's still a beast.
Oh my God, the end of this game.
Man.
Come on, Philly. He hit him.
Yeah.
Diaz didn't make an effort to get out of the way, so they're making him come back. Holy shit.
Oh, they got it. Game.
I'm ready to fucking play Call of Duty, man.
It's official.
Game the Philly.
Diaz grounded out to third. Ball game. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's
Let's
go.
go, Phillies.
I hope they go back to Philly with the fucking series lead. That place is gonna be rocking.
Oh my
I'm
God,
surprised the
dude.
stadium didn't collapse whenever Bryce hit that go ahead home run.
Oh, can you imagine what's going on right now in Philly? It's fucking 12:30. It's almost 1 a.m. I bet that place is going nuts, even just for game.
Oh yeah, they're wilding out right now. I can't wait to watch. I can't wait to see that crowd whenever Game 3 is in Philly. Oh man, especially so they're at least coming back with a split 1-1. Yeah, at worst. Could possibly be 2. I mean, I imagine Aaron Nolan went tonight, so that probably means Zach Wheeler goes tomorrow. That's a tough 1-2 punch for any team to deal with. Philly could very well be going back to Philly up 2-0.
Up 2-0, yeah.
And which, if I don't know if it's still the same process, but that means that they could get a couple games in a row at home. They could possibly win the fucking World Series in Philly, which would be awesome. After Houston didn't lose a game so far in the postseason, to see them just get fucking wiped out, that would make me so happy.
Oh, that's nice of FanDuel. They just sent me a free entry.
There you go. They do that to me too from time to time.
Boys, I gotta wrap it up. Y'all want to stay on here? Keep going live.
Nah, I'm ready to go play some Call of Duty, fellas.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have a good night.
It was fun. Let's win some money.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Let's win
Let's win
some
some money. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next week here for week 9.
All right, y'all.